Guys, I'm so excited because I have a new backpack to show you and review and show you all the ins and outs. Plus, I've packed a 3x3 capsule wardrobe, and the only reason I'm going to show you those pieces is maybe to give you an idea, but also because I have some new items, clothing items that I think are kind of cool, so I want to share those in terms of travel. So let's get started with this backpack. Did I need it? Absolutely not. I have been using this one. I've already taken it on 2 different trips and I really like it. I've reviewed this bag several times, so you can go back to my videos and see my in-depth review of this bag along those lines. And again, I've overpacked it just like I've done before. I've packed it for summer all the way through winter, and so that's why it's so overpacked. But I did a 3x3 capsule wardrobe, which is 3 bottoms, 3 tops, and 3 layers. There's a little extra in there, but I think I added a dress, but it's a special dress and I wanted to review it and show you. Anyways, just to summarize and to get into reviewing this bag, if you remember this bag, you know the reason I like it is because of the organization. And this seems to be like a 50-50, 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other people out there who pack a personal item. They either like the organization, so like a lot of the YouTubers will pack those nomad lane bags that they're not a backpack. That's why I don't like it. Plus they're really expensive, and this bag was like $17 on Temu. You can find comparable ones on Amazon for around 30 to 40. Anyways, that people will like the organization, but then there's other people who like having just a big abyss to reach into, and they'll put their own little bags in to organize. To me, I'm not organized when I have an abyss. I need the organization. So if you've seen this bag before, you know that it has a few flat front pockets, but what I really like about it is it has 4 main compartments that I call my library, where I put books and documents, my closet, where I put my capsule wardrobe, my miscellaneous items that I need on the plane and or on my travel, and then my toiletries in the back. All right, the difference with this bag is instead of having 4 sections, you have more like 3.5. So let's talk about them, because just to briefly give you an overview, there's a front flat pocket. This is what I'm calling the half. So as opposed to this front flat pocket, these are the same. This pocket right here, I've showed you before, it's a wet pocket, but it goes all the way down. But you can see when it's packed really full, it's really hard to get in this pocket, so you usually are probably not going to use it. Whereas even when this bag is packed to max capacity, you can still access this side pocket. So that's what I'm calling the half. And then the other pockets are an organizer pocket that's a lot wider than this organizer pocket in the front. Then there's the closet, which is the expandable pocket. And then the same, very similar laptop pocket back here. Now this is the bag a few videos ago that I took out all of that extra padding out of. And since I did that, I was able to fit a few more items, or like bulkier items in here. Even though, yeah, I would never pack it like this to get on an airplane because I would definitely get stopped. But there are also items in here that you could easily take out, like my neck pillow. I could attach that up to the outside. My Valentino designer 6-in-1 bag that I made, I showed you how to make one, is in here, which I would probably also be wearing. So that's what I'm saying is, even if I'm going to be very TSA approved, I can fit everything in here, but it is very full. Anyway, let's get into what's in this bag and how to transition what's in here into this bag. Actually, maybe I should show you the inside of this one. I've shown you the inside of this so many times, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you the inside of this one. Okay, so I showed you that flat pocket, the half pocket, what I'm calling the half pocket, and then this front one is a lot like the front organizer pocket of this bag, but with a few differences. Okay, so you can see I took the padding out of this pocket. Notice when I zip this one down, it goes all the way down there, but it only goes down a little bit there. I like that this one, when you unzip it, goes all the way down. And eventually, I think I am going to take the padding out of this pocket so it can be floppy like this, but I haven't gotten there yet. All right, now, this is going to, I'm going to put my books, actually, my books are going to go into that half pocket, so I'm going to put them to the side for now. And I'm going to start transitioning my items from here into here. So this is my massager. As I've shown you before, you can dig into your muscles, and what I like is very flat. So that's going into here. Again, this bag has a key leash just like this one does. And you know, part of the reason I'm showing you the inside of this bag is because the videos that are on Amazon and Temu and maybe even Shein, I don't know if this one is on Shein, but they don't kind of show you everything in the bag, and that's part of the reason I ordered this, is because it was only 20 bucks and I just wanted to see it, you know, but then I ended up liking it, so I'm going to keep it. Anyways, this is for you. I want you to be able to see what you would be getting if you order this bag on Amazon or Temu. All right, now you'll see a difference here. You know what, let me go ahead and get my passport, which I've told you before, don't put your passport in the front, but I do have this RFID sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into the front pocket here so I don't have to think about it later. That's everything out of those. Okay, now we can move on. All right, so very similar in the design where this front part has a mesh pocket here for some reason. I may eventually just cut these mesh pockets out because I don't know what purpose they really serve, but for now we'll leave it. It would be nice if they had the mesh pocket up here, because when everything's in the bag, everything falls down. So if you had a pocket, the more pockets that you have on the top half, the more you can utilize that space. After everything else is shifted downwards, you can have items up here, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, whatever, they can rethink that whenever they remake it again, but I'm gonna move my pen and my pencil over here. Again, I've heard people say it's better to have a click pen than one with a lid, because if you are trying to write on the airplane and you lose the lid, then, you know, what are you gonna do, get ink all over your bag? But anyway, I like that idea. Is there anything else in here? No. Okay, so this pocket is empty, but one thing I do like about this bag is these pockets are a little better. There's more of them. There's two of these little pockets. The pen and pencil pocket is down here. And then this is a flat pocket with a mesh pocket here. So this one only has the two here and the pen pocket, nothing down there. So, you know, whatever you like, however you like that. If that's a deal breaker, I don't know. All right, so just like this bag has the cinching straps on this side and the latches on this side, this bag is designed the same way. And incidentally, there are suitcase backpacks where the whole thing opens this way. I don't like that. I like when the bags open like a book. So, you know, just whatever your preference is. I know some of YouTubers like the ones that open down, but I don't like that for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. I haven't been able to put it into words as to why, but anyways, I do like when the latches are on this side, because this is the side that the bag opens out. And so sometimes when they put latches on this side, like I have another suitcase backpack where there's latches on both sides, and it confuses me when I'm in a rush. I'll open this side with the latches and then be like, oh, this side doesn't even open. So this is actually a good design because it shows you, oh wait, that's not the side that opens. This is the side that opens, where the latches are. Now, maybe you can see why I got this. I really liked this pocket. This is the expandable pocket, which is now, when I use it, going to become my closet. One thing I like about both of these bags is having this netted section, because that way I don't have to bring extra compression cubes, and I can utilize this whole space, as opposed to compression cubes where, yeah, you can be organized, but there's space in between each compression cube that you're losing. So if you just use the whole space as your compression cube, you can use the whole space. I don't know if that makes sense in English the way it did in my head, but hopefully you understood what I'm saying. All right, now let's open this one up and start moving things over. This one opens as well like a book, and this is how I have everything organized. And I actually need to get into my closet, so I'm going to start moving things from here into here. Already you can see when I open it up, there is a wet pocket here, which I don't usually use wet pockets in the backpack just because it's really hard to clean it afterwards. You know, if you're traveling for more than a day, you're in transit and you don't have time to take the wet things out to dry and air dry, I kind of feel like it would be better to just use a plastic bag. But if you had liquids that you're not sure if they're gonna bust open, this would be a good place to put them, because at least then it's not gonna get everywhere else in the bag. So I understand why they put them in here. I just don't often use them because I have a good enough Ziploc bag that I keep all my liquids in. All right, so let's go ahead and start looking at my capsule wardrobe because I really like it, and there's items in here that are new and maybe they will be a good idea for you. All right, so I found these merino wool bras, and obviously people always talk about merino underwear because it is moisture wicking and odor control and temperature regulating. Plus they're small, so they're not like underwire and taking up a bunch of room. Here's a little travel hack for you, is always travel with a bathing suit, even if you're not going swimming, because in a pinch, and here's another thing, if you're gonna travel with a bathing suit, don't travel with a one piece, travel with a two piece, and I would say preferably a bikini. And I understand that probably makes you nervous if you're very conservative and don't like wearing this kind of thing, but chances are if you bring a cover out and then just wear this when you're in the water, then it's not going to be so bad. But the reason I'm saying is to bring two separates and bring them as a bikini top and a bikini bottom is because unlike a bottom that's a skirt or a pair of shorts, you can use this as a pair of underwear if you need to, especially if you're hiking or doing some kind of active activity. You could wear your bathing suit as underwear for that activity instead of messing up your other underwear, because again, if you're this capsule wardrobe only has 2 pairs of merino underwear and 2 bras. So if you want to give your underwear a break, especially if you're doing some kind of strenuous activity where you're sweating or swimming, obviously swimming, then bring a bathing suit. It's always a good idea. All right, so let's get into the bottoms. I have 2 bottoms here, and then I brought a dress. That's what I did. Yeah. Okay. So I've shown you these pants before, both of these, but these are very thin. That's why they make good capsule pants. And these are actually my hiking pants, but I've told you that if you just tuck in the zippers and take these off, and then wear kind of a shirt over the elastic waist, then they could also transition to business wear. And what I like too is that they're waterproof and they're very thin, so they pack down well. So another thing too, when you're packing a capsule wardrobe, if you bring a bunch of thinner layers like this, thinner pants, you can roll 2 of them together, and that will help you when you're packing. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving stuff over there. These are all of my tops. And this capsule wardrobe is not very interesting. A lot of it is black, but that's just because I just wanted to do an example one. So here I have kind of a dressier top for day trips or like business events, or maybe going to dinner, although it's a little too cutesy for going to dinner, but whatever. It's a thin shirt, so that's really my idea, is to find really, really thin shirts that you can pack all 3 of them at once. This is more of like an athletic shirt. I could also use this as a pajama shirt if I needed to. And it could also, I could wear it during the day. If I wore fancy jewelry and if I tucked this front part in, I could dress this up, you know, it wouldn't look so casual. So that's another thing I like about that. And then here is an example of, and I got this is not my idea, okay? People steal my ideas all the time, but I try to give credit to the people that I steal their ideas. The channel Build Your Moxie, I think her name is Claire, she's Korean American, but she gave me this idea, is from her channel, is she always recommends that, I'll probably be wearing this on the plane, but it's a tank top that has a bra built into it, and I really like that for traveling. I really like it for hiking because I hate the feeling when you're sweaty and hot of having a bra and a shirt. I don't know what it is, but it's so freeing to have it as one piece. Plus, if you have this tank top, you can dress it up or down. You could wear it exercising, hiking. You could also pair it with the dress that I have and make it a little dressier. But also, this would give your bras a break. So this is another thing, in addition to the swimsuit, to spread your bras out a little bit more. Which these are merino, like I said, they dry in less than a day after you wash them. So anyway, just giving you options. All right, now, as far as the 3 layers, this is 2 of them. And this is an idea that I just kind of thought of recently. This is a short sleeve layer. So obviously it could go over the tank top. Oh, you know what? Let me fold these shirts up. It could go over any one of these tops as a kind of layered look. But also, and this is a trick that when you're doing a capsule wardrobe with layers, it's a really good idea to find a layer that has buttons or some kind of a closure, because in a pinch you could close this up and wear this as a top itself. Okay, so let me show you an example, because I have this cashmere sweater, and as I've said, I like cashmere because it's very lightweight, but it's warm. All right, I've shown you this cashmere sweater before, and I think I'm going to start bringing this one for the reason that I just mentioned. But I've shown you this one before, and the reason that I mentioned this one is because it does pack up a little smaller, but you see the buttons don't start until down, like halfway down the sweater. So I could not wear this one as a top by itself. So this actually is not a great traveling piece because it's not super transitional, although it does pack down smaller than this sweater. Whereas this one, you can see when it's buttoned up, it's a crew neck. You know, it's not cutting all the way down to my belly button. I could wear this as a separate top if I needed to. All right, so that gives you an idea, and I'm gonna pack these up now. And sometimes when you roll, it's, instead of rolling this way, sometimes it's better to fold it in half and roll the whole thing this way. And then it will fit better with your other rolls. That's another little trick. You know what? On this channel, you have good ideas and 0 special effects. I actually had a jingle I was gonna sing. Good ideas, but 0 special effects. That is my song for this channel. And also no editing. All right, so this is my other layer that, again, I could wear as a long tunic. I could also, I could kind of wear this as a dress if I wanted to, but wearing it open, I'd probably be wearing this one on the plane. This would be my plaid shirt, flannel shirt, in lieu of a flannel shirt, because, you know, it does take up so much room, and I probably would not pack this because it is so bulky. But I like this too because you can roll up the sleeves and button them and cinch them up like that. Another thing that I can do is if I don't want it to be so long, and I probably should have shown you this wearing it, but if I tie this part around my waist, let's see, how can I show you? If I tie this part around my waist, it actually shortens the shirt a little bit, and it looks like a shorter shirt. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know, I should have worn it. Maybe I'll make a video of me wearing it and showing you, but that is another layer. So that is, again, there's too many layers and too many seasons in this wardrobe. This is not a normal one. These are my socks. Okay, so I have my bras, my underwear, my socks, and then these are my pajamas. Okay, I showed you those long sleeve silk ones in another video, but this is more like if it's warmer weather. And here's a little trick about pajamas, is always bring pajamas that you could wear either piece as another outfit. So I've shown you this shirt before. It's a waffle knit. So it's actually an active t-shirt, but I could wear it for day trips because it has that cute little detail right there. But it's also very lightweight and moisture wicking, so it does make a good pajama shirt. And then these are like active capri leggings, and they're kind of neat. They have this, I don't know if these are out of style actually. They might be out of style, but that's why I would be bringing them as pajamas. But I also do, and I don't care if these are in style or not, I wear them hiking because I can put my phone wallet, you know, my phone wallet, it's a phone and a wallet together. I can put that in this pocket while I'm walking or hiking. But I can also wear these as pajamas. I don't like to wear shorts because I just don't like how my legs feel touching. I just don't like that. So that's why I would bring capris for warmer weather pajamas. So you can see I can roll these together. And again, those can transition into other outfits if I need them to. Now here's my dress, and this is super bulky, okay? This is taking up so much room in my luggage, but I'll show you why I got it. All right, and again, speaking of things that are probably out of style, but I don't care, this is one of those multi-dresses. And this is another reason that almost everything else in my wardrobe that I'm bringing is black, because I didn't have time to really think through all the things that could go with this. But that's why this dress is green, and so all the tops, if I wanted to wear this as a skirt, you can see it's like gathered right there. I could wear this part as a skirt with a top over it. But I just really like the sheen of it, and I like the feel of it. And even though it is bulky, it does pack well because it doesn't wrinkle, you know? So if you've seen these dresses, and I don't know if these are still popular. I know they were really popular for a while for bridesmaids, but every girl would get a dress like this, and then you could wear it all kind of different ways and like tie it different ways. You could wear it. Some people even figure out how to make long sleeves out of it. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but the reason I got it is because I wanted something that I could kind of throw together and be fancy, or I could wear it as a skirt, or, you know, whatever. Another really good idea, and I actually have one and I forgot to bring it into this video, but if you look up magic sari dresses, sari, S-A-R-I, those Indian, you know, like Indian women wear those saris. So the magic sari dresses are like layers of sari material that you can like tie up in different ways and make different outfits and things out of. I don't really look good in those, even though I have one, but if that's like, my style is not really that bohemian. It's a little more standard classic. So that's why I look for like solids and classic prints, but whatever. I'm just saying that if you are the kind of like bohemian hippie style, you might want to look up a magic sari dress, and it would be a great item to incorporate into your capsule wardrobe to give you a bunch of color and options. Anyways, I like this color, and this is another little trick, whether you're traveling or not. If you are invited to a dinner party or a formal event, you know, this dress is green, and you know everyone else is going to be wearing a black dress, right? So if you like to stand out, which I kind of like to stand out sometimes, find an interesting color. You know everyone's gonna be wearing black or red or even like blue. A lot of people wear blue. But if you can find a green or like a rust or like a really interesting pink or purple or something, then it just gives you kind of like an edge, just a little edge on style. All right, so there's all my stuff packed in to here. You know what? And what I was wanting to do was I was gonna put this dress on the side because there's more room in this closet than there was in this closet. This is 3 inches wide. This one is 4.5. So I can fit the same capsule wardrobe that I fit in this closet into here, but I have a little extra room, which is going to come in handy since this bag has 3.5 sections versus this bag that has 4. So what I'm gonna do now is oops, stuff is falling. Okay, if you've seen my videos before, you know what's in here. This is my winter parka with a hood, and a raincoat with a hood plus 2 wool gloves. And I don't have time to show you, so you'll just either have to watch my videos before where I show you that, or you're just gonna have to believe me. But that's gonna go in this pocket here to free up some of that space. Let me grab this cube that fell. Ugh. All right, and I'm gonna put my adapter cube into this front organizer pocket. And did I take my massager out? Where did I put my massager? I'm losing my mind. I had that massager. Oh well, it's around here somewhere. Okay, so now we are going, so that is my closet plus my coat. Okay, and it's a good idea if you're wearing your coat in the airport. And that's the thing too, is like I could free up so much space inside all of this luggage if I had worn my coat and then thrown it into my bag, my vest bag, which I'll show I've shown you like 3 times, so I didn't want to show you again. I could throw that in there and free up space in here, but I'm just showing you that how much can fit in here. Not that you would ever do this, but this is how much would fit in here if you did it. All right, so now let's go ahead and put my toiletries into this back pocket, just because if you've ever loaded a laptop or anything into this back pocket, you know it's a lot easier to put it in sooner than later. After you've packed everything, it's a little difficult to get into this pocket. So I'm gonna go ahead and put, again, this is my hanging toiletries bag that I absolutely love. I know some people don't like these. I don't know why, because I love being able to see everything. And I like having one bag. I hate having a bunch of little bags that I have to keep up with. That's just like, sounds like a little slice of hell. And so that's why I like these bags, because everything is organized. And I don't have to stress out about where stuff is, because it's already all together. Right, so that goes into my toiletry pocket. And now that leaves this front pocket where I can put all the rest of my stuff. So again, this bag I will probably have on my person as a fanny pack, but because we are seeing how much room is in this bag, I'm going to put it into the bag itself. All right, I'm gonna take my ballet flats and I'm gonna put those on the bottom of this organizer pocket and not put it into that mesh pocket. Okay, there we go. There's that. All right. All right, then next, I am going to put these are my sandal flip-flops, okay? Just briefly, you've seen them before, but in case you haven't seen them, they button like this, and I like them because they don't have a thong thing, so if I'm wearing compression socks on the plane, I can wear these like slippers. So I want these to be available to me to be able to grab out when I'm on the plane. So I'm gonna put them on the side right here so that I can easily get to them. And then also this is my foot sling. So you know what a foot sling is, I'm not gonna explain that. And then if I didn't have this on my person, I would go ahead and put this into that pocket. And I'm gonna go ahead and start zipping this up. And then finally, well not finally, but my neck pillow is going to go into here, even though I don't have to put it in here. As I've said a bazillions of times, I could attach it to the outside and or I could just put it around my neck when I'm getting on the airplane, because that I know I'm gonna try to sleep anyway, so I could just go ahead and put it on my neck, and that would free up so much space in here. All right, so last but not least, we have the library to take care of. So I'm gonna put my bigger book on top. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm gonna put the smaller book on the bottom because, you know, all the bulk falls to the bottom. And then I'm going to put my thicker book on the top. You know what? I'm not. Because for some reason the top is fuller than the bottom. I think it's because of that neck pillow. It's so big and bulky. So it throws stuff off. So that goes in there. And I don't edit, so I'm sorry that you have to just sit and watch all of this. All right, so there's that. Let me get it. Aha, there we go. All right, so yeah, that is very, very bulky, but it will hold all of it, right? Oh, here's another thing that this bag doesn't have. Both bags have chargers where you can charge your phone from the outside. But this bag has this like briefcase handle, which is kind of nice because depending on how you have it finagled under your airplane seat, if you want to grab it this way or grab it this way, that's nice. You can also grab here, and then it has these straps. One last little thing here is it does have a hidden, very, very hidden lumbar pocket. So when that's covering it, you don't even see it. As opposed to this one that you can see if for some reason you were able to see the back of the bag, but you can't even see this one. So that's either good or bad depending on how you feel about it. If you like to not see it, that's good, but it's a little difficult to get to it, but you know, you can still get to it. All right, so that is that bag all done, all salted. And I'm going to clasp it now and cinch it down and try not to break my fingernails in the process. All right. But I do like this bag, and I'm not sure which one I like better. I like both of them for different reasons. If it comes to quality, I kind of think that this bag is a little nicer, but not by much, you know? Like, they are what they are, you know? They're a budget. So they're not gonna be like lasting forever and a day, but they will last. So there you go. All right, so you can see they both hold a ton. Again, I'm not gonna pack it this full when I'm really traveling because most of those things I can fit into other things, into other areas. But, you know, if you're car traveling or something, it holds a lot. So it's good to know. So anyways, all right, hopefully that gave you some ideas, and if you've ever seen these bags and maybe this gave you some inspiration to go out and get one, I don't know, but either way, have a great day. Bye.